what we're saying?
Yeah, like I said, I haven't seen any doxing going on. Like if I
Mm-hmm.
see it, then I'd give an opinion on it. I just
Right.
came back up to like ask why I was dropped for mentioning the tattoo.
Because we addressed it 1,000 times and we're not going to go over it forever. This live, listen, Mac, I promise you, you can get in touch with me in my DMs. If you have questions about the tattoo and Jessica's story, we will hold a whole live concerning that. But that's not the topic of this live.
What's the topic of the live exactly then, besides like trying to
Everything,
say
no,
that Irish people?
So,
everything you say on the panel is a topic of this live.
so again, as the doxing threats continue, every time they make a doxing threat, I am going to put a plea out. Please help me
You're
have
not
the
the victim,
resources
Jessica.
for
Sit down.
the possible harm that this will cause. Jessica Wabbit,
Jessica, Jessica,
79.
Jessica, stop. Just take screenshots of it. That would be better.
This isn't
Because
a joke for just screenshots.
no, but Jessica, I can't scroll through all the comments and see who did it. So for your own protection, take the screenshot.
I mean, respectfully, I don't think anyone's on your side in the comments, Jessica, so I don't think anyone would be sending you money from this pool of people. But I don't know. I haven't really seen much support for your side, so. Also, I don't understand why you're acting like the victim when you're not the victim. And also, I want to ask, can I
Ask
ask
the host
Aqua?
why Magical can't come up. Not my live. I'm not doing guest control.
Yeah, you should let up Magical and Emma, two people who probably want to speak on the topic. But I just wanted to also ask, like, what's up with the victim blaming? Like, why would you blame Allie for the comment? I wanted to understand that as well.
Oh my god, I've been on mute again. I'm so sorry. So there's only a few scenarios here. Um, Ari had a bad interaction with Jessica and tried to get her in trouble, or it's somebody who watches Irish's live. And I want to remind you that two things can be true, okay? Ari's definitely a victim, and like I said, if I can help her in any
It's
way,
Allie.
oh, Allie, I'm sorry, in any way, like I'm more than welcome to do it. But then putting blame on someone else for a grape text they didn't do also victimizes that person.
Yeah, so you double victimized Allie because not only did your friend, threaten to grape them, but then you blamed Allie for the threat. So it's a double victimization. I agree.
For one, I did not threaten anything. Stop saying it.
Stop saying it. Oh, womp womp. I don't give a fuck. Jessica, I don't give a fuck about
He's
you.
just trying to antagonize you, Jessica. Don't lose it. Yeah, if you want to call it that, you
You
can.
guys are
Hold
putting a
on.
target on my back. You have no idea what you fucking are doing. No idea. Stop
Then what are
playing
we?
Jessica,
around like you
Jessica,
guys are fucking
Jessica.
activists.
I'm gonna drop you to the comments so you calm down, hon. There you go. Okay, Mac. Um, yeah, but if we look at this from maybe a legal or an unobjective standpoint, um, it's not impossible for somebody to do it to themselves. Take the emotion out of it and try to look at all the options. But I believe there's two victims.
So, how old is Jessica? Because I think it's kind of also like very interesting that Jessica can't control her anger.
She can, but you're repeatedly trying to antagonize her, Mac. I know what you're doing, and it doesn't bother me.
I mean, Jessica's an adult. She can handle someone, quote unquote, antagonizing her. People antagonize me all the time. I just don't care.
I know, but your antagonizations are different due to
I mean,
intersectionality.
I'm not worried about Jessica yelling at me at all. Like, you can let her do that. I genuinely don't care. I think it'll only show more of her character. So I think it's interesting that you like keep dropping her before she can say something or say what she really feels. Um, but
So
like
Mac,
I don't
Mac,
mind the yelling.
Mac.
What?
Um, do you believe people can be perceived as bad character, but also not be bad people? Right. So like
Sure.
we'll take like somebody can be a complete a-hole. That doesn't mean they're guilty of what people are saying they're doing.
Oh, okay. And
Right. So somebody's behavior doesn't mean they did something.
I mean, I would say like the live that happened yesterday, Irish's live, like just the fact that Jessica got so visibly angry towards the end after, being questioned was kind of telling. And like whenever people, in my opinion, someone who is so irrational and so angry at accusations being thrown their way, and like, that just is an indicator to me that during that fit of rage or anger, they can do things that you know, do things out of anger and out of spite. And I would argue that Jessica made that threat out of spite or anger towards Allie.
But she didn't, because the interaction she had on the panel with, oh my God, Allie, I keep calling her Ari, um, we both forgot about. Like, it wasn't enraging enough to make her go do that, or anyone, right? And so, again, she was on the phone with me on one device while driving. So,
Also, I think Magical wants to come up here and address something. I'm not sure what she wants to address, but I just wanted to let that be known that Magical does want to come up. Um,
I'm gonna let people up one at a time. Is there anything else?
yeah, I would just say that like I don't like want to continue to like argue with you or Jessica. I think it's all clear to everyone in the comments and everyone who's like seen everything that's happened, like who exactly did what. I think that you should let BIPOC people up here to talk about the tattoo with Jessica, because just because Jessica said that she changed doesn't mean that she actually changed. And I think that you should let people up here who, want to talk about that and confront that with Jessica. And I think if Jessica can't confront that with certain people without getting frustrated or angry, that's really telling. And then, so I see Geek in the comments. Geek, yeah, it's a schnauzy tattoo that Jessica has,
Doesn't have.
that people are freaking out about.
Yeah, so again, that's not the topic of the live. And to repeat myself, we've held several lives about that. And this, if you want me to run a live to allow people to come up and talk about that, we can, but we're not changing the topic. I've said that many times.
Yeah, then we don't have to change the topic. Jessica Wabbit threatens grape. We
Well,
could go about
no, but she didn't.
that. I think it's clear to everyone that she did.
No.
I feel like if you
I
honestly, Aqua, I feel like if you did let Jessica stay up here long enough and stay up here long enough to get angry and upset like she's been displaying, I think we would see her true colors. So I don't know why you're defending and protecting her by not allowing her to get angry and emotional. Because I guarantee you, if she got angry and emotional on this live, we would see exactly the type of character that she is. But anyways, I think you should let up some BIPOC people who want to talk about the Yahtzee tattoo because
okay.
I was just more so here to call it.
You got bubbles.
There
Hi.
we go.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Hello.
technological help.
Uh-huh. So, one thing I do want to make clear is specifically from what I've seen, so far in the, live I've been in here for like, I want to say an hour or so. So specifically, I don't see Atlantic on the background. So, to sit here and say we're talking about a specific topic, even though, Atlantic's not on the background, yet you brought up Atlantic and then you brought up the video and everybody
Mhm.
listened to the video. And specifically, not only just me, but everybody else in the comments as well also heard Atlantic say, and I was paying attention because you were playing the video back to back to back. Specifically here Atlantic say that non-binary people were valid, but you didn't want to hear that from us, right? So you're just not really listening to that part. That's one thing I noticed. And then the second thing I noticed is a YT person claiming YT supremacy against them. I found that very odd, and I found that very stupid. Very dumb, very dumb, very dumb. Because it's given you don't know what YT supremacy is, even though you used to be, or it's probably still a YT supremacist yourself. And yes, Jessica, I just called you that, and I will stand 10 toes down on it with that damn tattoo. Um, and then on top of that, when where where has Irish ever invalidated somebody's transgender identity? I want to know.
Okay. Yeah, this is not a Bash Atlantic live. Um, but
Yet you did. But continue.
okay, the reason why we showed the video was to show an example of trans separatism. And they wanted to see the video. Atlantic was asking to see the video, so I played it. What was your second point? I'm sorry.
Because your claim in the beginning was that Atlantic specifically invalidated non-binary people. That was the claim that you made. And then when we asked, all of us asked for the video, you played the video and it didn't show what you were saying it was going to show. So let's not, backtrack and switch up our claim now, because I was here and I listened. So
Okay.
I'm gonna ask again, because my specific question was, when has Irish ever invalidated somebody's trans identity,
With
specifically
me.
non-binary people's?
With me.
How is asking what your specific identity was invalidating?
Because if I tell you I'm transgender and you
Mm-hmm.
want to know what brand I am, that's not your business.
He
The
didn't say
question.
brand though. Why or what?
Well,
So why
yeah.
are we changing
Go
words?
magical. Go read the DMs.
Okay, so go ahead and show me. If you have, if this is your DMs, then I assume you have a screenshot in your your gallery, right? Correct?
Yeah, they're all on my main page, and I have
What's your main
about
page?
it's Aquatofana.
Okay. So
Yeah. So hold
specifically, if
on.
somebody is asking you your identity, because there are trans women, there are trans men, there are non-binary people, amongst other things, non-binary people are trans. If we're
Yes.
specifically asking you that amongst how would you like to be referred to as, how is that invalidating?
Because he didn't ask me what I would like to be referred to as.
So if somebody, okay. So how is that invalidating asking you what your specific identity was? I'm still confused on that.
Right. So trans separatism is a tactic commonly used within the community to create a division between transgender people, right? So if I tell you I'm transgender and your next question isn't what pronouns do you use, you're just performing trans separatism.
Separatism,
It's
separation has already existed within the community ever since the beginning. One, two, but not only just that, but specifically, like all trans people are trans. Specifically, when we're talking about non-binary or man to woman or woman to man or whatever the heck, all of them are still, but at the same time, not all experiences of trans people are the same. So when somebody's sitting here asking you, hey, like, what do you identify as? Because you said you're trans, we're not about to sit here and assume, okay, are you non-binary? Okay, are you a trans man? Are you trans woman, etc.? It's better if you ask instead of making that type of assumption. So at the same time, I'm still confused on what you are talking about. What is separatism? Because from what I've seen, it's just a clarifying question that is in no way disrespectful.
I would so magical. I would suggest, because I do have screenshots, but I have like 50 of them, but they're all posted on my main page, right? So if a cishet man, if I tell him I'm transgendered, it's not his business how I identify. Does that make sense?
Transgender encompasses so many types of like people.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people ask clarifying questions. It's not because if you just assume, like, for example, I don't know what you identify as. So if I was to assume, just based off of the fact you saying that you're transgender, but like just assume off of your voice, if you were like a trans woman or you were a trans man or a trans or non-binary or something, that would be an asshole thing of me to do instead of asking the clarifying question, okay, what do you identify as? So I'm going to ask again, how is that specifically separatism? Because a clarifying question such as that is not only asking for clarification just so they can respect your identity, is not separatism at all. Separatism would be like, for example, saying non-binary people are not trans, even though they are. That would be separatism.
There's a few different ways to do it.
I know there's a few different ways to be racist too. I know.
You're correct.
I know.
Yeah, and I believe your third point about Jessica. Yeah, I agree with you about a lot of what you said. I don't believe that she should be calling people white supremacists. I think her verbiage is off, and I did correct her on the
Knowledge is off
panel.
too.
I agree. I agree. I did correct her on the panel, and I will provide her with resources so that she can get her point across
You
in an
don't need to
educated
provide
manner.
her with resources. If she's still in here, I would love to, ask her some clarifying questions as to why her, as a white T person, thinks that another white T person committed white T supremacy against a white T person. That's what I would like to have a clarifying question as to why. Amongst other things, of course, because I feel like there's and and I don't say this word lightly because I don't like saying this word, but I feel like there's victimization going on, specifically by somebody in particular, Jessica. But at the same time, I just want to ask some clarifying questions as to how and why this is happening in the first place. Because I feel like Jessica, somebody that has a Yahtzee tattoo and also done, Yahtzee uniforms or whatever the hell, is using white supremacy as a shield, even though that's kind of weird, wouldn't you think so?
Yes.
But that's your bestie, right?
No.
No? So, where's she at? I'm swinging my feet right now, y'all, by the way. So, where's she at?
Right? So, she has held several lives talking about that. I don't want to bring her up here because I don't want it to turn into a Jessica live. But Magical, I think I would love, if you're in agreement, we could hold a separate live where we can talk to Jessica about that.
Maybe. So I did want to ask you something, just clarifying before I do leave. So actually a couple of questions. So one, do you concede to the fact that Irish is not a white tea supremacist?
I've been saying that. I said that specifically on the panel.
I just need, a word for word confirmation.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's a YT supremacist. I do think he does and says things to uphold patriarchy. I do think he's a sexist.
Sexist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going from, tea-phobic to white tea supremacist to now sexist. Okay, so you concede to the fact that he is not a white tea supremacist. Are you conceding to the fact that he is not transphobic by, my explanation of things?
No.
Why?
I told you why.
No, you didn't. And actually, the explanation you gave, I quite literally addressed, and I said that wouldn't be separation. That would just be asking for clarification in a respectful manner. If anything, that's what you want people to do, is ask you clarifying questions in a respectful manner versus saying, oh, so you're a T-slur, versus, saying very derogatory things that you would consider to be, T-phobic, so either way, it's not that wouldn't be considered overt or not even covert as well. It's not, either. So it wouldn't be T-phobic at all.
Okay, we can disagree, and you're more than welcome to go to my main page and read the DMs.
Oh, okay. Actually, the last clarifying question, how is he sexist?
So he resorts to misogynistic and sexist tactics that are historically used against women.
Which is?
Yeah. So he'll be talking about
Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. He'll be talking about women, and if he doesn't approve of the women, or if they behaved poorly in his eyes, he has a bit of a Madonna whore complex, where he will resort to calling them loons or methanies, things of that nature.
He calls men that too, right?
Yes.
He calls everybody that quite literally resorts to non-logical or idiotic things. It's not something that's gender specific, so I'm confused on how that would be sexist if it's not something that's gender specific.
Yeah, so just because he says these things to men doesn't make him not a sexist.
Wait, so if it's not something that is gender specific or, specifically targeting a specific demographic, how in any type of way does that make that sexist?
Does he call men methanies? Does he get in the DMs of men and tell them to fuck themselves in a loon?
Actually, I'm pretty sure. Maybe. I would have to reconfirm. But anyways, so yeah, right. Everybody else in the comments that do know for sure, because I'm sitting here thinking in my head like the automatic answer was yes, but I wasn't like for sure. I block out a lot of things that happen on this app. I'm not gonna hold you. But either way, so because yeah, like I'm sorry, but some of y'all creators are just irrelevant to my memory. But I'm fine, Dom. I'm fine. This is actually entertaining for me for some reason, because this is so far I'm not really receiving any type of logical or consistency within this. So
Magical, would you say somebody calling someone loons and crazy is ableist?
Okay, so now we're going to ableist.
Yeah.
Wait. I need to write this down. Let me get a piece of paper.
Would you say calling people crazy and loons is ableist?
Ooh, actually, I would love for Dom to hop on this specifically because she is going to school for psychology. So I would feel like it would be better if you talk to somebody that's within this field. So I will be dropping. But until then, my last words would be get fucking consistent and stop throwing around shit and stop being friends with a fucking Yahtzee and just being like so whiplashy with it. Like if you're gonna be sitting here throwing a claim on somebody, please actually stay on a claim and stop hopping and hopping and hopping and hopping from claim to claim. First it was T-phobic, next it was racism, next it was now sexism, and now it's ableism. Which one is it?
Everything on my board. I never said he was racist.
Hmm. 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 Okay. Everything on your board is already false. I already addressed everything you said. So if we're going to be throwing claims, at least be logical because at this point you're being anti-intellectual and that's not a good look for you.
No, so let's talk about lies, right? And I'll give you a specific example. The other night I saw him on a live, and he doctored my voice note to fit his narrative. He played like 3 words of it to fit a narrative.
What was the 3 words?
I don't even remember. But another lie he said is that
You don't even remember the 3 lies that you're so hung up on that you feel relevant enough to bring up.
no, I mean, I'm going to play the voice clip in full. Another lie he said was that I was blackfishing for months. Right? And so, yeah, and I wasn't. And
Blackfishing. Okay, so why would he say that? If he did say that, why would he say that?
Yeah, so he told me that I had a picture of a black woman on my account for months as my profile picture. Yeah.
So you're whitey, by the way.
Yes.
So okay, so why am I saying numerous people in the comments saying you were though?
Because they're listening to him.
These people are individuals with their own track of thought. Even some of us have gotten into disagreements with Irish before, but at the same time, we're going based off of facts. So at the end of the day, when I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, why would he say that? Because you wouldn't. If
You're not letting me
to
finish.
say that, okay, then go ahead, land.
Okay, so if you saw the PFP, I would more than love a screenshot of it. I tried to figure out what he meant by that because the only picture I had up on my profile for months was of a man from Europe that we made into a woman. And he's a very white man. So I was trying to figure out if that's what he meant. And I was trying to explain to him, I also want to get to the Snow White account. The only time there would be any profiles of mine with a black woman's face on it would be on the communal account, which is Snow White, which people change the pictures according to the user. So I'm trying to talk to him to figure out if that's what he means, because he knows I have the Snow White account, but he doesn't understand it's a communal account. And my mutuals who use it also happen to be black women who put their faces on it when they're using it. So I believe that's where he's making the claim from. Not that, yeah.
So if it was to stay that way for a month, right? Actually, somebody saying that they heard something different from not only somebody that does not like Irish, but so I'm confused. If we're hearing people on both sides, people that do not like Irish and then people that fuck with Irish or what he does and what he says saying the same thing, why am I'm hearing inconsistency?
There's no inconsistency. It didn't happen. People are just saying whatever they want in the comments. If they can bring
proof, whatever they want, if we're specifically talking about a specific situation.
Yeah, it didn't happen. And yet he's
It
saying
did.
it did.
Okay, so what makes your word stronger than theirs?
Because I didn't do it, right?
Where's
So
the
let's say
receipts?
the receipts of my profile pictures.
Yeah, what profile pictures did you have up, if anything?
Yeah, so I had the picture of one of my
Oh,
mutuals who's a man.
yeah,
Um,
and also, sorry, real quick, can you also bring up the Discord messages if you have the screenshots of that, of Iris saying that you were, blackfishing?
um, so if you go to my main account on the Discord messages, I said to him, "You accused me of blackfishing," and I provided in the Discord message the screenshot where he said it, and I circled it. It's on my main account.
You said you had a tablet. Put it on a charger and pull it up for yourself.
Well, magical. So the Discord messages are on my phone, and because I
You can
blocked
log
him,
into Discord on your tablet.
listen, because I blocked him on Discord, his messages come up as blocked. But I can still show you where he said it. I know I can do that. Hold on. I took pictures of all the screenshots and I blocked him, and now his messages show up as blocked.
Oh, somebody who has it? Hold on. Somebody's in the comments saying that somebody might have it. Hold on. Right, you can still click block messages, by the way.
So I told him he accused me of that, and then I showed the screenshot where he accused me. Let me scroll.
Ooh, if it's at the police. Ooh. I'm surprised my phone's so quiet. Ooh.
Hold on, we're scrolling. Okay, hold on. I gotta go through this again.
Miko, that's what I
Patience.
was. Oh no, go ahead.
Is someone talking shit about you in the comments?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
no. I got supporters, babe. It's go ahead.
Okay. I gotta figure this out again.
While you do that, I'm gonna get me some ice cream, and y'all get y'all some water. Hydrate. Eat.
Hold on. How did I do it last time? Oh, I think I did this. Okay. Right here.
Okay. And you use the face of a black woman as your profile picture for months. Okay. So, if you I would like the clarification if somebody could get that clarification from Irish if he was specifically referring to, because I know he's probably hearing me. If you were specifically referring to Aqua's main account or their communal account.
That's what I've been trying to clarify with him. He won't answer me. I've been trying to clarify it with him. I've been telling him.
You have him blocked from this live.
I blocked him from this live because he said I'm stalking him, and yet he shows up.
Because you have a whole profile, you have a whole green screen of this man, and you quite literally screenshotted his profile picture and have it as your profile picture. Why would he not come in here if okay? You're talking about him. If somebody came in here and if somebody came into my DMs and they said, "Hey, this person that you've been having issues with for months is holding a live about you, and there's people in there that don't know the full context, etc." I'm gonna go in there my damn self too. Cause who are you to talk about me and the situation that I address with you, but then you're not gonna give me the right to speak for myself? You see how dumb that's because you're the only one speaking on the situation. Everybody else is coming to sit here and try to defend him because you blocked him. He can't speak for himself. So if you're trying to get clarification, from Irish, maybe unblock him and actually have a actual conversation with him, because he did try to come in here because of the fact that you have this as your live.
Yeah, so Magical, I've been trying to have a rational conversation with him for 3 days. So I can unblock him on Discord and he can
Nobody's trying to
actually
have a rational
have a
conversation with people that trying to defend Avery, babe. Especially with the weird. I've seen the videos, I've seen the screenshots, I've seen the proof. You have yet to bring an actual reliable source on anything Irish has done.
Right. So Magical, the videos that he has are cut. Right?
It's a long enough video to show the context of a before and the after.
Right. So you leave out the part where people are misgendering her and calling her a man.
Was it Atlantic misgendering her?
And then she licks the box.
Was it Atlantic misgendering her?
I believe so.
I've seen the video. No, it was not.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Atlantic and Avery have a long history of going back and forth.
I would imagine so. You know, somebody that also holds their own lives, you know, trying to self-diagnose people with, you know, a whole bunch of other shit. I would, you know, have a lot of things to say about them too.
Yeah. I mean, and don't think for a minute that I think Avery's response and reaction to her is appropriate. I do not. I am not saying that Avery is perfect. That's not what's going on.
We know Avery ain't perfect. You ain't have to say that. I'm blind as hell. I don't got 20/20 vision, and I could see that with my glasses off. You didn't have to say that.
Right.
So, okay. So if we're agreeing on that, so at the end of the day, where's Jessica?
Magical. Magical. I don't want to make this about a Jessica live.
Baby, you brought Jessica up here multiple times already. Don't sit here and, you know, be scared to bring her up now because a black woman's up here. Come on now.
No, the reason why Jessica's on the panel is because she's being accused of sending someone a horrible message. And the message was disturbing. And I personally will do everything in my power to see who sent that message. But just blaming somebody, anybody, is not acceptable.
So, okay, so if blaming anybody and everybody is not acceptable, why were you blaming the messages on, you know, on people you didn't even know who sent the message, though? Because that's what you were doing earlier when I was in here. First you said it was this person, then you said it was this person, and then when Matt came up, you guys were like, did you do it? You did it. So if we're gonna keep that logic, hold the same logic for yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a point. Like, we can blame everybody, and I know Mac didn't do it. Right? We all know she didn't do it, but it's easy to point at someone and say, you're mad at Jessica, you did it. Right? And that's my point. There's no proof. We don't know who did it. We can't say who did it. I think, in my honest, we'll get back to Avery in a minute, Squirrely. My honest opinion is that someone in Irish's lives did it. And I'm not saying somebody we know. I'm just saying some random that's going to take it upon themselves to do some kind of weird thing. That's my theory. Right? That's my theory.
Send me one more message real quick and I'll tap on it real quick. Yeah. So, I would love for Mac and Don to come back up. I am happy to drop down for that.
Well, I have some other people waiting to come up, but I will cycle to them eventually.
Yeah. Okay, so...
But if you would like to hold a live and talk to Jessica, you're more than welcome to DM me with the topics, and we can set a date and time. I don't want to not give people an opportunity to speak to her, but we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and so one of the messages that was just sent to me was you attacked three cis people is what I'm reading for being cis and saying they weren't allowed to have an opinion. Is that correct?
No, I told cis people that they don't always know what transphobia is.
Are you
Right? And so this
sure?
is, hold on, Magical. This is, this is a different story too, and I don't want to get off topic.
I know. I
So
know. It's a different story. It just goes into the hypocrisy I've been hearing a lot, to be honest.
no, no, no. So there was a situation where there was, oh my God, rampant transphobia, and the cis people weren't able to recognize it. And then it turns out that it was transphobia, and cis people apologize for it. So when it comes to trans people feeling like they had an act of transphobia against them, cis people need to stay in their lane.
Okay, so I'm again confused. One more time. One more time. We just want to run through this. But racism is fine though.
No,
It's what I'm Okay, so
no.
if racism is not fine. Actually, you know what? I know there's people in the request, but if it's not Emma, please let Dom up real quick, please.
Well, Emma's been waiting a while, so I'm going to let her up.
That's why
No,
I said if it's
racism.
not Emma.
Um, racism is not fine, right? So it would be like, oh, I didn't drop you. Auntie Biscuit? Absolutely not.
Um, I are you
We
gonna
can't
bring
hear you,
Dom up
Matt.
because I wanted to. Can you bring Dom up because I wanted to him to come up before me? I just wanted to harp more on Jessica if Jessica was gonna come back. Um, but also, can I just like before I drop, Sienna? I don't
Mm.
know what the fuck your problem is.
Is someone being inappropriate to you in the comments, Mac?
Yeah, people are inappropriate towards me all the time. But I just wanted to say, Sienna, I don't know what the fuck your problem is. I don't even know who you are. You keep making weird claims in the comments, but you're not backing up anything, and instead you're just alleging that I live in a 701 area code and trying to dox me. It's very funny and very
Okay.
interesting.
Sienna. Okay, hold on. Hold on a minute, Mac.
Geek, I didn't come up to address a comment. I was just sitting in the request waiting for Jessica to come back. Sorry. No, I'm gonna
Do
drop.
you,
You can bring Dom up.
do you know this person, Mac?
No, I don't know who is. But
For
anyways, I just wanted to address Jessica if she came back, but she's not coming back. So you can bring Dom up.
all right. Well, I muted that person. It looks like a troll.
I just find it funny that the transphobia that allegedly happened is fine, and throwing out people's names when we have no evidence is fine. That you felt very comfortable to do it with me with no evidence until you were called out on it.
Who are you?
That's the funny part. You seem to know who I was when you were accusing me of being somebody else. What was it, last night before that? Friends with Percy. So you accused me of being a whole ass transphobe without knowing who I was, without any information or proof whatsoever until you were called out on it. Yet somehow you're
Hold on.
hypocritically coming up here talking about putting people's names out with no proof.
Dom? When that live was going on, I was texting Irish, and he said Dom is on the panel. I thought you were somebody else, and I said to Irish,
Because all
I
black women look alike.
apologize. I got them confused. I don't know the person on your panel.
Yes, all black women
So
look alike. I'm aware.
I'm sorry if I confused you with somebody else.
He was blocked after that, Jade. And then I also find it funny how you're not only defending Avery, but then now you're also defending a full-blown racist, one who committed racism towards me in that same exact live, and it was only a microaggression.
What happened in the well, tell me what happened in
Very
the live,
funny.
Dom.
First of all, I don't know if that's your voice is just like that, but don't talk to me like I'm 12. Second of all, you were told what happened in the live because we literally saw all the fucking messages. Jessica literally came up there, tokenized black people, talked about using white supremacist tactics as well as triangulation, using the word completely incorrectly, not only spoke over me, yelled at me, fucking full blown racism to my ass, and it was only a microaggression. It was just a little one, right? Let's be real clear of our verbiage here. It was only a microaggression. So you're up here calling out somebody for alleged transphobia. That's fine, but racism is cool with you. Full blown racism is fine. We're gonna keep ignoring the fact that everybody is in here asking about Jessica, who committed again full blown racism, and you're defending her, trying to bring up something completely different, not at all acknowledging the fact that she's a racist.
Well, I'm glad you came up to the panel. I don't necessarily trust Irish when he tells me things, and I do believe
That sounds like
that
idiocy.
she owes you an
It's a racist.
apology.
No, a racist doesn't get to apologize. A racist is a racist. So say she's
Okay.
racist. It's not that the racist owes me an apology. It's that the racist needs to be acknowledged as a fucking racist. But you can't say that, because if you say that, you'll be seen as defending a racist. And I find it funny
No.
that Jessica disappeared and then suddenly Sienna pops up doxing Matt. It's funny how every time Jessica drops from somewhere, another account comes up threatening somebody in some way or another. It's very fucking odd.
Yeah, so Domothy, I can say Jessica's a racist. I'm comfortable saying that.
Who doesn't know? Beanie, Jessica's a fucking racist. Jessica came in and she completely macro-aggressed. It was considered only a microaggression because the conversation was to be put on how Irish was using white supremacy tactics, while Jessica in turn literally used a white supremacist tactic to a black woman. To my fucking face.
I'm agreeing with you here, Dom.
Oh, now you are. Absolutely, you're agreeing with me now because you can't deny me straight to my face, not with all these people here. You have to call her a racist now. You were just hesitant to do so because then you'd be defending a racist blatantly. You guys don't believe in intersectionality. You say you do, but you don't. Because if you did, that would have been addressed when people were bringing it up prior. The only reason that you are addressing it now is because you can't do that shit with me. It's not gonna work. And besides the fact that also I'm told that Jessica was uncomfortable calling her bro because I call everybody bro. It's literally colloquialism. I literally stopped doing it. I told her stop saying the word triangulation because since we're talking about harming other communities, you're harming a community. You're harming a victim of a narcissistic abuser. You're using the word triangulation incorrectly towards a man who, since we love proof so much, you have no proof of doing said tactic, and you're incorrectly using the tactic, which again harms not only people with NPD who are abusers, it also harms victims of people who are narcissistic abusers. I asked her to stop, and guess what? Didn't stop. And that's when the full-blown racism blew in, and I got yelled at and everything else, and called all kinds of aggressive. So it's just so funny to me how this intersectionality only exists when it's convenient to you, or when you use it against Irish. And I'm not even like a Irish super fan, so you can't even use that against me, because I know y'all all love to use it every single time anybody defends the fucking man. So I'm just not seeing anything stick in here. It's funny. It's just very funny. And it's even funnier the fact that you only let one of us up at a time so that you could somehow maintain some sort of fake control of the live. when you're wrong. You're blatantly wrong.
Okay, is there anything else?
About it for right now, unless somebody else brings something out.
Okay.
Jessica's not gonna come up clearly because she's the fucking coward.
No, so Domothy or Dom, I don't want you to feel like I am not validating what you're saying, and I would love to do a live because I have been in private conversation with Jessica, and she does need accountability for her behaviors. I
Who's there
have told
asking?
her that. Well, Dom, I have told her that, right? That her behaviors are wrong right now and they're coming across as microaggressive.
Did
I
you say
have
no? It was no. We're not gonna use the word microaggression again. We're not gonna call it only a microaggression. She's a fucking full-blown racist who has a fucking Schnazi tattoo, and unless you're giving her list of places to go get that lasered off, you're not really doing very much. It's not coming across, and it's not how I feel. It's what everyone saw. Again,
hold on. Sorry, go ahead.
logistics and semantics and of the word salad. It's not gonna work with me. I know what words mean. We're not going to use little words like microaggression or I'm sorry you felt that way or it came across that way. It was. We're going to use affirming words here. It was. It was racism. It was a macroaggression. That is a racist, and she has a fucking Schnazi tattoo on her fucking self. So again, I could find some list of places by her that can laser that bitch off if you'd like. That's actually doing something.
She has taken care of it. It's covered up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. I should be affirming you because you did experience racism. You're absolutely right. If we set up a live with her, would you be interested in addressing her?
She'll get cursed the fuck out by me. I'm not gonna sit here and play this dilly dally fucking shit where we all talk nice to each other. I'm not a fake and I'm not a fucking coward like you. She's gonna get cursed the fuck out. I don't have time and nor do I have patience for racists. Which, if anything, you microaggressed. So she's a full blown racist and you microaggressed by calling it only a little microaggression, basically. So I mean, I don't really want somebody who's damn near racist setting up a live with a racist. I'm okay on that.
Okay.
Quite all right. I'll leave that to Irish. I trust him a little fucking more when it comes to that.
You can do that.
I will. I plan on it.
And it's not just a microaggression. I didn't understand at the time that it was full-blown racism. But if we do hold that live, because I have been talking to her about the problematic behaviors and the things that she says when she's trying to get her points across. And if you want to come cuss her out, you're entitled to do that. Because I feel like she does have some accountability coming.
Got more than that coming, but we'll see about that. As I said, Irish is more of a safe place. I'm good. I don't need your help with that part. Anybody else want to come up? Because I no longer have the time.
Okay.
Nor the patience. You talk to people like they're fucking 12. It's extremely condescending, for the love of God.
Okay. Do you want me to drop you?
Do you, boo boo?
Okay. I just wanted to know if you had anything else to say. No? Okay.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this now. You sound like you don't care at all. You don't. You don't sound like you care at all. Dom's sitting here literally upset as heck, and you don't even care. You don't care. You're talking to, I don't know their pronouns. I'm sorry, Dom. I don't know your pronouns, but you're literally sitting there talking to them like they're a child. Like say something. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Dom. Like speak. All I hear is breathing.